back to KNC Taxidermy. Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at KC Taxidermy. And we are continuing on with our kind of airbrushing tutorial. And as you can see here, we've got a white-tailed deer. Now this is an early season deer, so it's got a very short coat. It's probably just out of velvet. I'm trying to look and see the color because it's pretty, it's got some dark red staining on there, so it was probably just out of velvet, so it's really early season. But as you can see here on the side, it had probably, when they skinned it out, they had a wonky cut, but that's all right. I've got that fixed up, even though it looks bad now. Once we get airbrushing, that hopefully will disappear or at least blend in. But with it having shorter hair, there's really nothing I can do about it except for make it look as best as I can. I didn't really want to sew it as much because it would have pulled it really tight and pulled off my brisket and the center of my brisket, and then pulled this off to the side. So what I had done is, again, pulled it together and tacked it, and then of course magiscoped it and tried to get some texture in there to match the hair, and then we will magiscope it. But in order, sometimes sewing can throw off or pull your cape too tight, or if you have to cut sections out to try to fix it, it just messes up your measurements. So sometimes it's best just to try to work with what you have and put it together like a puzzle and make it look the best you can. But make sure also that it doesn't come back apart as it's drying and down the road. Try to make precautions so that it does not pull apart over time. Same with my Y incisions in the back, especially with these shorter haired deer. You know, you want to really make sure those look really good and tight so that you don't have, it's not as noticeable. And of course, I usually, on the shorter haired deer, I will go back over that with the airbrush too, just to make sure that there's no evidence of that showing. But he sewed up really nice on his Y incision. And then the only thing different about if you watched the pig one, the only thing different about, I'm basically using the same colors, except for, of course, we're going to use the super hide white also as well on our white-tailed deer. For I usually give it a little spray, the inside of the ears, and I usually give it a little spray around the eyes and around the muzzle, just to make sure that we're highlighting the whiter areas. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that and follow along as we finish this guy up and send him home. Once again, we always start with the lighter colors, go from light to dark. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my ears and doing my white, and then work through to the darker colors. Let's save the darker colors for last. Now this says the whitetail ear, but I never just use the pink. I don't like it super pinky. I always mix the Sahara tan with. I like to neutral it, make it more neutral. I don't like it super pink. I think it's way too pink, me personally. Just so if you're wondering what I do, they call it the whitetail ear, but I just think it's way too pink. And I'm going to put this into the nose and the ear. So as you can see, if you were worried about those ears being super pink, they're not. It's just a base color I put in to kind of add shadow to that white. And it rubs right out of that hair. The hair is white, so it's going to clean up and give it that more natural, to me, it gives it a more natural look. That's what's cool about airbrush. It looks super sloppy. You're like, oh my gosh, the colors look, but you can't be afraid to play with them because they really do blend really well. And it comes right out. It's just a matter of learning how to make them work together. Just gotta play with it. And like I said, the only reason why I'm putting like pink and stuff in here underneath is because it makes it look, gives it a life under the real colors. It gives it a life, gives it some life. Looks like it's got blood running in its veins again. To me, it doesn't look so flat and painted. Makes it look more realistic. It's like applying a little bit of blush or bronzer to your blending. You're kind of being a little bit of a makeup artist. And you want to make sure you get all that pink out of the hair. You don't want pink hair on your deer. as you can see, there are big things going on here at K&C Taxidermy, so make sure you subscribe so you can get notifications on everything that's going on here at K&C Taxidermy. We'll see you then.